Hey guys, Marcello here from Wandering Trader, also from the Amalia coffee plantation. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the cost of living in Medellin. If you guys don't know who I am or seeing my content for the first time, I've been traveling around the world now for about 10 or 12 years, almost 150 countries. I've been living in Medellin for about 6 years now. I came here for the first time in 2011 when I was doing my trip around the world. I'm now based here. I have 4 businesses, a lot of property. I have this beautiful Amalia resort, which you guys see behind me. This is going to be a coffee plantation that we're going to turn into kind of a high-end resort. It should be ready by the time you guys see these videos in about 2020 or so. So definitely be on the lookout for that. You'll be able to come here, relax, hiking, coffee plantation. We'll have coffee to plate food. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So in this video, I wanted to, it's a little bit difficult to explain to you guys what the cost of living is going to be. So I'm going to try to give you guys the ranges if you guys are a backpacker and you want to save some money, and then if you guys are more of the high end, okay? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you guys what my cost of living is, right? So what I pay for, how much it costs, because it really isn't that much money compared to what it costs in, you know, in a place like New York or a lot of these cities in Europe or even Australia, which is expensive to live, okay? So if you guys don't know, I bought a 6-bedroom penthouse in the barrio of Laureles, which is one of the ones I prefer, for about $124,000, which is extremely cheap. It's extremely cheap, and the dollar was a lot lower back then, about 6 years ago. If I bought it at today's prices, when I'm doing this video right now in May 2019, the dollar's at $3,300. I would have bought the house at about $90,000. So very, very inexpensive to live, more than anything now. If you guys have always wanted to kind of go overseas, I highly recommend you guys come to Colombia or even overseas right now, because it's so cheap because the dollar's so high, okay? So I don't pay rent. I pay what's called the administración, which is basically the HOA fee, right? I live in a building, and for me, for the 6-bedroom penthouse that I own, I pay about $120 a month. So that can variate anywhere between 120 to 150 or so. So it's a pretty big place, okay? The electric for me, it costs anywhere between $100 and $150 a month. I live alone, so I have this big place. I have a lot of people who visit, but it normally doesn't go higher than about $150 a month, even with all those people. That includes electric, water, and sewage, all those together, okay? Now, one of the things that you guys have to know about living in Colombia, there's something called stratas. The strata is basically your economic ladder, let's say. So you have one, which is the lowest, which is the ghetto, right? The barrio populares, which is what they call them. And then they have the highest, which is 6. So Laureles, where I live, is a 4 or 5. I think it's 5 if I'm not mistaken. So I literally live in the second highest where the expenses are going to be. And basically the way it works is somebody who lives in a lower strata would pay less in electric. What I pay, for example, in a number 1, 2, or 3 would be something like $20, $50, right? Compared to what I pay. So 120 HOA fee, about 120, let's say, on average for electricity, sewage, and all that. I have a full-time maid. Full-time here in Colombia is 48 hours, not 40. So generally they work 48 hours in a week, unless they don't work on Saturday. If they do work on Saturdays, then it's 8 hours every day, and then about half day on a Saturday. That's the basic full-time in Colombia. I pay a little bit higher than what normally a person would receive, because, you know, it's really inexpensive salaries here. So I figure you pay somebody more and they appreciate it and they do better work. So I pay my maid, all benefits included, about $430 a month with the current exchange. We're going to do, let's round it off to 450. Okay, so now we're looking at 240, let's say 250, 600, we're at $700 so far total. So the maid, one of the things I want to let you guys know is, if you guys are going to live here in Medellin, if you have a maid, you have to make sure that you pay the benefits, which is the pension and the health and all that. Because I got sued, for example, by one of these ladies. It's not the same as in the US. You go in front of a judge and it's like a negotiation between you two. But if you are going to live here and you're going to contract a maid on your own, make sure you do that and make sure everything is in writing. And if not, contract an agency, which I'm sure whoever you're going to rent an apartment from can help you guys with that, okay? Other than that, the normal price of what a maid would get paid is $280 a month. So I pay almost more than double than what it would be, okay? I also have a chef, a full-time chef, not a cook, but a chef. A lot of time the maid can function as an actual cook, but I have a professional chef which functions also as an assistant for a lot of the businesses that I own here, and then I have the maid as well. The chef costs me about $960 a month, all included, all the benefits, absolutely everything, full-time, okay? I also have a professional driver. I'm fancy. So chef, maid, driver. Steven, saluda. Enseña a Steven. Saluda, Steven.
Hola, mi gente, ¿cómo están?
So that's my driver. Takes me everywhere. Allows me to continue to work because I'm super busy these days. I pay him about $562 a month. He doesn't receive the benefits. He actually pays them on his own. It's basically an independent contractor. So he's about $560 a month with the current exchange rate. The cell phone, I have a plan. So down here, you can get a plan with Claro. Claro is owned by one of the richest men in Colombia, in the world. The name is Carlos Slim. He has a lot of the telecommunications equipment and the infrastructure in Latin America. Claro is the company. It's a huge company. So I pay about $25 a month, and I have free calls to the US. I can go to the US, use the phone there without receiving extra roaming, and then I can travel anywhere in Latin America for an extra $1-2 a day with the same plan that I have. And I have 50 gigs of data. So just to give you guys an idea, if you guys are going to live here, you can actually get a local plan and literally go to the US or go to other countries without a problem, okay? So I pay $25 a month for that a month. And then if I go to travel, obviously that goes up at $1-2 a day every day for Latin America. The US is included. Food for the chef, I'm going to say about $100, $200 a month. That includes eating out. So I'm a super simple guy. I don't go and eat out a lot because my chef is amazing. You guys will probably see her with some of the other videos. So I spend about $100, $200 a month. If you guys are going to eat out, I would say if it's a higher end restaurant, I would say something like, I'm going to give you an example. Sushi for 4 people, 5 people, under $100, all drinks included. So everything is a lot more inexpensive here. A very good steak, you're looking at $20 all in. And I'm talking the beer or the wine you're going to drink, the actual steak, the appetizer, all included. So obviously if you guys are going to eat out every day, or if maybe if you're going to have lunch at home and dinner outside, that might go up to about $300-400 a month, okay? The internet at my house, I have 50 meg download internet. Internet here is very, very reliable. I'm looking at about $34 a month with Claro again. You're going to have 2 options. One is UNE, the other one is Claro. I recommend Claro. So all in, absolutely everything. The rent, which for me is the HOA fee because I don't pay rent. The electric, the maid, the chef, driver, cell phone, food, internet, $2,500 a month, all in. That I think is extremely cheap because your rent probably in the States would literally be $900, $1,000 plus the car payment. So that's all my expenses. Without the chef and the driver, everything else included is $962 a month. Okay. Now, if you're gonna those are all my expenses. So without the chef and the maid, without the chef and the driver, $962 a month. With everything included, about $2,500 a month. Now, you guys may not go out and buy a property like I did, okay? You guys are probably going to go out and look for a place to rent. So you can either look for a room or you can look for an entire apartment and maybe split it with your friends. Poblado is going to be one of the most expensive places. After that, I'm going to do a separate video about the best places to stay and the best neighborhoods to stay in. But Poblado obviously is going to be the most popular. Most of you guys are going to arrive there first. You have Envigado, which is right next to Poblado, which is a little bit cheaper. Laureles, which is a little bit more local, which is a lot lower price than Poblado. There's a lot more inventory there as well. And then you have a little bit more of the outside places like Estadio, which is lower price, Belén, all those, okay? So if you're going to rent a room in a more lower price neighborhood, remember the stratas that I told you about, right? You're probably going to look at about $200 a month, everything included. Like electric, water, all that, okay? On the high end, if you're going to like stay in a penthouse and it's like a all-inclusive with the maid and you have your own bathroom suite kind of thing, you're probably looking at about $800 to $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month. This is furnished, right? So Airbnb or one of these rental companies. If you're gonna if you're gonna rent an apartment that's already furnished, so maybe a 1, 2, 3 bedroom apartment, you're gonna look anywhere between $1,000 to about $2,000 a month overall. Now, one of the deals that I recommend that you guys do is look for an unfurnished apartment. You guys might not know how to handle that. If you guys meet maybe a friend that can help you, maybe a girlfriend, if you guys have that. Remember, don't do the underage stuff. It's not cool, guys. You can find a much cheaper unfurnished apartment than you can a furnished apartment because there's a huge difference in price on that, okay? So an unfurnished apartment will run you anywhere between $500 to maybe $1,000 a month. I would say a really big apartment you can get in a good neighborhood for $700, $714, yeah, about $700, $800 a month. So that's what you guys can budget for an actual apartment. So the other things that you guys need to include for budgeting, you have gyms. There's a brand new gym chain that came out of Brazil called SmartFit that works in all of Latin America. It's called SmartFit. I said the name twice. There's also another chain called Body Tech, which is a little bit more expensive. They brought their prices down thanks to SmartFit. And then you also have another company, some of the higher end gyms or individual gyms, which aren't chains overall, okay? So a local gym, you're going to be able to find outdoor gyms here that are free. So basically they put bars with cement weights. They have one in Poblado, actually, right next to a little bit north of Parque Lleras, okay? And those are free. So you can go work out with the local guys. It's a great experience if you guys want to check that out. The ladies as well, be prepared to get hit on quite a bit. Those are going to be completely free. You have a little bit of a notch up that. You have the ones that are cost effective, right? Where you have to pay something, but they're really, really local. I have one next to my house that charges about $5,000 a day. So you're looking at $1, $2 a day. And if you don't go every day, you can go every other day and pay that. Other than that, a big chain like SmartFit is going to cost you about $50,000 a month to about $80,000 a month. So you're looking at between $15 to $20 a day, give or take, low and high end. There's a really high end gyms which are going to cost you between $30 to $70 a month. The SmartFit was a month as well. Let me repeat that. SmartFit, a chain in between $15 to about $20 a month. And then the high end ones, which you can find, there's one in Parque Lleras, which is the popular place where everybody goes to, between about $30 to $60 a month. Okay, so for the food, obviously most of you guys are probably going to have a maid, but she's going to go out and buy food, or you're going to want to go out and eat. There's a lot of great little restaurants. They have a lot of little local restaurants all over the place, and most places, especially the little local places, offer a little lunch special. The lunch special will include a piece of meat, a salad, a little soup or appetizer, and then a juice, which most times will be like a natural fruit juice like maracuja or mango or any of the exotic fruits they have down here, okay? So if you go to one of these little local places, it's going to cost you about $2 to $5, anywhere between maybe as high as $15, $20 if you go to a chain. Obviously, they have all the American chains. If you guys have a little hankering for local food, McDonald's, Burger King, Papa John's, Domino's, Starbucks just opened, KFC. So they have all that here, okay? But I recommend the local food because it's amazing and it's good natural food, right? We have all these chemicals in the U.S. and I had bad allergies and things like that. And when I moved down here and I started eating all the food here, all my allergies and everything went away because it doesn't have as much chemicals as in the U.S. For lunch, you're going to look at anywhere between $3 to $6 a day. Breakfast, $2 to $5 a day. Dinner, I think I said those backwards here just a moment ago. And dinner, I think for the most part, you can spend $10 to $15 at maybe a local restaurant, and then maybe up to $20, $30 if it is in a super fancy restaurant, okay? So for two people, for either whether it's sushi or steak, I would say that you could pretty much spend under $20, $30 with appetizer, all the good stuff. Sundays, I would highly recommend you guys go to the brunch at Crepes and Waffles. I'm gonna try to do a video about the best restaurants in Colombia. Every holiday and every Sunday they have a brunch. The food is absolutely incredible. That place, I highly recommend it. There's also a new local place opening up called Santa Leña, which is competition for crepes, which I highly recommend as well. It's very good local Colombian food. And Crepes and Waffles is actually a Colombian chain, okay? Nightlife, if you go to more of a high-end club, I'm gonna I'm going to give you guys some of the areas. Obviously, Parque Lleras is a place where you go out and party. You have Rio Sur, se llama, no? Rio Sur, they opened up Andrés Carne de Res, which is from Bogota. So it's a good nightlife spot as well. And then at the top of the building of Rio Sur, they have a couple of clubs which are more high-end, which charge a cover. A lot of bars or a lot of clubs won't charge a cover. Some do, especially more of the higher-end ones. They do that to kind of keep the riffraff out because they don't want a lot of like the dangers of drugs and all that kind of stuff. So if you're going to go to a place with a cover, it's about 20, 50,000, which is about, I don't know, 816, like it's $7, $7 to $15, give or take. Beers are going to be about 5,000 a pop, which is about $2. And then if you're going to have martinis and things like that, it's going to be about the same. Obviously, they can range because you have the local spot, right? And then you have the real high-end spots. There's a really big range. There's a lot of income inequality here in Colombia. So keep that in mind, right? So for the most part, I would assume about $2, $3 per drink, maybe as high as $5, right? If you guys are gonna big drinkers, okay? Other than that, electric utilities, as I mentioned, in my cost of living, you're gonna look at anywhere between 40 to 150. If you guys share a spot, divide that by 2 or 3. If you guys are gonna share a full apartment, internet again is gonna be about 20 to 150. The internet is very, very reliable here. And then if you are gonna get health insurance, you're probably going to look at something like $50 to $100 a month. You can get an international insurance from the US or from your home country, or you can actually get a local insurance here. So all in, I'll try to do the math here in a second. I'll ask the video guys to do a little, a little box here with all the totals here, maybe put it somewhere around here. But overall, just in general, living in Colombia and in Latin America as a whole is going to be a lot cheaper. If you are going to think about living in Medellin, I'm going to try to do a video about living in Colombia as well. I would not recommend Cartagena. Cartagena is great to visit, but it's very expensive. There's a lot of places in Cartagena that are actually more expensive than the US. Bogota, I personally don't like, but it's good to experience. It's a little bit more expensive as well. And there's a lot of other little towns that you can live in, like Manizales is like a mini Medellin. There's a lot of great little places to explore and live. And right now with the dollar being so high at 3,300, definitely recommend you guys coming down, exploring the country and visiting, okay? So I hope you guys liked the video. It's very extensive. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to do a lot more of these videos about places to stay, where to go, what to do, what to try, all that stuff. So I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll definitely answer all the questions you guys have about Medellin or traveling anywhere else. Just leave it with the hashtag AskMarcello. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time.